our poll question is who's the MVP right now? And our choices are our choices are James Harden, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, or the field. Who would you take?
I would take Harden. And it's funny. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm being a little hypocritical in the fact that as a player, I used to hate it when people in the media rooted for a guy. I thought it was very unprofessional. Even if the story was as crazy as, say, Steph when they won 73 games and he won it unanimously. But I won't say that I'm rooting, but I'll say this: I don't think we've ever had an MVP come in second 3 years in a row with the type of basketball we've seen, whether it's the 73 win team with Golden State, whether it was Westbrook averaging a triple-double. I mean, historic things have had to happen for Harden not to win. Actually, the players voted him as the MVP the first time Steph won. So, I'm not rooting for him, but after all those years, it's great to see him be this consistent and still be kind of the forerunners. But LeBron we've seen he's really the MVP every year as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough, but maybe it's just as simple as you just pointed out, he's come close, and he's also clearly the most dynamic player on the team with the most wins and perhaps the top seed in the West, even with CP3 on there. What is the difference between Harden's season last year and this year, best you can tell, Chris?
Truthfully, statistically, nothing. The only difference is he has Chris Paul, who helps with leadership at the end and helps, do some things there at the end. As far as his game, maybe he's learned a little bit of leadership. Maybe he's better in the fourth quarter, but really his problems happen in the playoffs, so we won't see until then. But, I mean, let's just think about this. He broke the franchise record for points with 60 points for Houston, but that wasn't enough. In that same game, he's the first player ever, probably besides Wilt, because they just didn't take the stats. But the first guy ever we took the stats with that had 60 and a triple-double in NBA history. And it's just amazing. I mean, by far, he and Durant, to me, are the best offensive players. Got to put Curry up there in this league. And, he has highlights. He's just really fun to watch. I think he fills all the boxes as far as the MVP: entertaining, fun, team winning, and has a story and all that good stuff.
So how is Houston built to beat Golden State? I mean, let's just get right down to brass tacks here.
People kind of laughed at me, I think, All-Star, when someone asked me, could Houston beat Golden State? I wouldn't bet my money on it, but I do think Houston can beat Golden State. I think they're built for a team like that. What do I mean? They're all like-sized. So that means now they can switch. Like when we played it in Sacramento, we loved it if you got into a running game with us. It made it look like maybe we weren't playing D because you scored 4 more points a game, but you took 7 more shots a game, and we wanted you to get into that running game with us. And so most times Golden State has won the game even before it started because most teams don't even know how to play that pace, or they don't have the guys with the skill set. Well, Houston does, and they have a guy that can handle the mid-range in Chris Paul. They have defenders, whether it's Ariza, whether it's Gordon, whether it's any of these guys, they can all switch and, they can play fast. And Capella can switch out. He can dominate inside by just doing the pick and roll. And then you have Harden. So, yeah, I think that if they stay focused, they can. But I also think that we're going to see a crazy upset in the playoffs because everybody's looking forward to the next round. There's some good teams on the West, and I think that, you never know what's going to happen in that second round.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.